Hello YouTube, I'm back with the next Battlebots tutorial review, and today I have the Mechadon Handheld game, which unfortunately I'm not going to show you actually how the gameplay occurs, because first of all, that's copyright infringement, and don't give me that fair use nonsense, because that's only up to the owners. That applies to the owners and not the person uploading. Besides, YouTube wouldn't allow it anyway. And second, that screen is not going to give you much. I'm not kidding, it's really the size of the screen. So I'm going to review the game as I remember it, as well as the actual gameplay console here, as is. It's obviously based off of the Battlebot Mechadon, although the Mechadon never had any jaws. But these jaws are pretty interesting. They allow you to actually clamp on the other robot. And if you actually want to see the sprites that are actually in this game, they have Vlad the Impaler, Killer Hertz, Minion, and El Diablo. You can go to the Battlebots Wikipedia page. They're already up there. They're not that impressive. They're pretty lazy, actually. I mean, they're mostly just copies of each other. I think they're copies of, the Killer Hertz one. Because Minion's blade in that is it's facing forward, almost floating above the wedge. It's not very good. But the toy is obviously very reminiscent of Mechadon, apart from the jaws, obviously. But the idea of the game is these wheels underneath, these two black wheels here. You roll it along the ground, and the game will follow this, and as you can see, the legs move. Although I'd prefer to actually do it as I'm doing now, because I find that it's actually a lot easier and I end up winning. I think putting it on the floor is actually going to make it harder, because you're going to be focusing on moving that and not really seeing the game screen. But it's interesting. I mean, obviously you can see it reflects Mechadon somewhat well. I mean, it's got most of his mechanics inside there. In the back, there's another wheel in the back that doesn't do anything. So, and you got a lot of options on you got the buttons on here. You got obviously your start button, your sound button. You know, you can reset it. But I mean, it was an interesting game. I never really finished it officially, but you end up going through them one by one, and then you face all four of them at once. The time limit is still 3 minutes, although the countdown I think is actually shorter than in the show. Actually, no, it's a bit longer. It's about 4 seconds officially, because there's an actual audible countdown. But it's interesting. It's got a couple hazards in there. You may have seen from the little snippet I showed, there's actually an image of the arena inside. Even when it's turned off, you can actually see. And then when you actually play the game, you end up seeing like the kill saws and the pulverizer. They will rotate in kind of a semicircle. They'll go around kind of like that. And then your object is to get a hold of the opponent and drag them over to one of those two hazards. It'll eventually knock them out, although, again, as I found, it's a lot easier just to fight them by rolling the wheel quickly. For whatever reason, that seems to work. I have no idea why. It could be a bug in the game. But yeah, it's obviously, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I had lots of fun playing it. The batteries are probably dead. That's probably the third reason why I can't really give it to you. Because you notice there's like a stain on the bottom. I don't know what that was from. I think that may have been just because where it was, maybe moisture inside there, so it may be useless now anyway. But it's very well accurate, very well done. I mean, it's kind of creative how they did this. It kind of would have been nice if they did a robot that was probably a little more mobile as is. But then this is obviously Mechadon. He was very popular on the show. Never really did that well, but mostly came to every event or every other event to just show off. Haven't really seen him since. So Mark Citraki, the builder, probably either has him at home in remains, or he sold it, or whatever. I have no idea, but you've seen his Axis robot if you watch the new BattleBots show. That's his Axis robot with the little fingers moving around the giant nut. They let him use it, so he let them use it for the show. And this is highly detailed. I mean, it's nice that they actually allowed the feet to move. I mean, you'll hear like noises as the robot moves, and this will actually make noise. Even when you're not like actually playing the game, this will actually make a noise, like sort of I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. It's an interesting noise if you actually get the game. Yeah, this is definitely. I mean, you get 4 from the show. I mean, they may not be perfect, but I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's a dink little screen. It's like a couple inches across there, so it's like 1 or 2 inches even. It's not a bad game. It fits in your hand pretty well. If you got small hands, then you may have trouble. But I mean, it's very well detailed. They went a good mile to actually make Mechadon replicated as a game. That's pretty cool. He didn't really have a whole lot of merchandise. I mean, he got a McDonald's toy, which I haven't reviewed yet, and that's a wind-up toy. And I think he's got maybe had a mini bot and a one of those pocket bots where you pull back on the string and they fight and you hook them up. I think he was one of those as well, but I don't have that anyway. So yeah, it's a pretty accurate game if you actually get your hands on it. It's worth playing, especially after you go through all the trouble getting it out of there. Because it's in one of those plastic, those hard plastic packages that you have to actually use scissors to cut them open. So it's a very fun game. I mean, even I found it challenging even when I was playing it. So yeah, that's my review on this Mechadon handheld game. Thanks for